Hi, welcome to another episode of high quality quizzable content. I'm joined by Arjun.
Hello.
And this is going to be the top five science to build off of the top 50 and individual players ranking that I just did. Also, make sure to vote on the Illinois postseason poll. It's very important that you do. Even if, well, I guess if you, what you should do, if you don't think you have a good opinion to give, you should go back and look at stats and then manifest a good opinion that you can give because it's important that we get a variety of perspectives here. Um, anyway, so here's my top five science. Number one is me. Uh, I think, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Uh, I'm pretty good at science. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm good at chemistry, physics, math. Um, and then Jonathan does bio and other science and some of other science, but I can sometimes buzz on those two. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm a pretty good science player for high school level stuff. Um, yeah. Number two, I guess. Yeah. Number two is David Lee, who's your teammate. Can you give us the rundown of Big Lee?
Uh, yeah, so the Big Lee, as he's affectionately known, his main categories, his main subcategories of science are definitely like physics and math. Uh, Lots of real knowledge coming there from David. Very, very smart guy in physics and math. But like, I don't know, I'd say he's generally solid at all the science categories except for like astro, but like, who cares what, and earth science. In fact, like, I'm pretty sure Govind was gonna like start studying astronomy and earth science just to help David because like those are disgusting parts of science. Anyways,
Yeah.
no offense to people who like that stuff. David's like generally been like really consistent this year. He's had good performances at basically all his tournaments. Like he started off the first tournament season early bird in the first game. He just powered all the science just for fun. So yeah, David Lee's definitely very consistent, very solid science player.
Yeah, and I
And
think what
I
accentuates oh sorry, and I think what accentuates David's skill is that like he plays the crucial role of science specialist on an elite team where there are no other science players aside from Arjun Negaswaran. uh, but anyway, on a side note, for people who are bored by astro and earth science, they're not as bad as you think. I hated them for a long time, and then my junior year, I was like, okay, I'll just learn it, and then just learned some astro and science, and it was all cool. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's really not that bad if you just like put your head down and learn to appreciate it. Um, so anyway, number one, I mean, I think I'm pretty clearly better than David. No offense to him. I think it's something that like in our games I get more science than him. Um, but anyway, number three is Judson Lamb from Naperville North. Um, Not a name as well known as Minor David's, but I saw him play on Blast Online, and between him and Jeffrey Wu, who's another science player on Naperville North A, they were very very good at science. I think like per toss up, like on Blast Online, they averaged between them like over 11 points per game per science toss up, or no, 11 points per science toss up heard rather, which means that they almost always got it, and they usually powered it when taking into account the negs. So Judson is just very good. I was impressed a lot. Also, like at last year's pace, apparently he like swept Jeffrey Chen in science or something like that, which is also very impressive. So yeah, Judson definitely very good science specialist. Unfortunately, we don't have that much in-game evidence to go off of because I haven't played Naperville North. Um, I don't know who all they played at SCT, and they haven't really attended that much. But I think that Judson's definitely a very good Ryzen science player. I think that he and David are pretty close. I just gave David the tiebreaker because there's more like for one, when you compare their science numbers, Judson's buzzing as a generalist, while David is buzzing as completely like a science specialist. Like David really doesn't buzz on that much outside of science. Well, he does buzz on stuff outside of science, but not to the degree that Judson does, because Judson's like an actual generalist. And then number two, as I stated before, David Lee has the success factor where he's a contributing member on like a top 10 team nationally. So yeah. Number four is where's my okay? Stan from Macomb. Stan is very solid player. He was a science specialist last year with Clara. And this year he's kind of grown into a generalist role, but he's still pretty good at science. Um, when I've played against him online and in person, I've always been impressed by him. Uh, yeah, I don't have that much like tangible evidence to go off of, and I'm not exactly how sure what percentage of his SCT buzzes were in science. Although he did have 2 powers a game on SCT, which is very impressive. Um, so yeah, I think he's definitely pretty good. I don't think he has that much real knowledge, but I don't know. He's still definitely a very respectable science player. Do you have any comments about Judson and Stan? I don't know if you've played them at all.
I haven't played Stan. I think I played Judson like at Iliac Midwest Championship last year. Uh, I will say like David like knows like well knows of, at least I don't know if he knows personally, Judson like apparently Judson was like is like Science Bowl god also, so I guess that skills like translate nicely into well for Science Bowl.
Yeah, yeah. So that's definitely, I guess, another point of evidence. Unfortunately, there aren't like catalogs of Science Bowl results, individual Science Bowl results, like there are for Quiz Bowl. But I think that Justin's and Stan are both very good. Number five to round out the list, Ben Fry. I don't know. I have always found Ben Fry to be like pretty good at science. When I've played against him, I usually beat him to it. But like when I've seen him play online, which again probably don't go off online unless you really have to get evidence about player skills. But he had in a similar stat to how Judson and Jeffrey combined had like 11 points per game or 11 points per science toss up heard or something like that. I think Ben had like 7 or 8 on Blast Online, which is very impressive. Um, like on science bonuses, when I've played Ben, I mean he gets them. I don't know. I've just been generally impressed by Ben's science play. And even though he's a generalist, I think that he deserves the science spot more than some of the science specialists that I have below him. So yeah, do you have any comments on Ben's science ability?
Uh, I also like similar thing that you're kind of mentioning with Stan is like probably much more amplified with Ben because you have no idea what he's buzzing on when he's putting up these insane numbers. So it's hard to tell for sure how much comes from science. I haven't I've played him sometimes and I don't know. He's generally seems solid in everything, so I have no reason to doubt that he's not good at science either.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have just a good take on this, or like a good perspective on this, because out of everyone, I have probably seen Ben play the most. I've played him. I've played 3 games against him at Masonic. I've played 2 games against him this season, and I watched him play Dogs for 6 rounds, and I watched him play Blast Online. So I've seen Ben play probably more than most people, and I think that he is a top 5 science player. So yeah, that's the list. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time.